it's basically, like there's been free spirits in New Orleans for, 300 years, ever since New Orleans started, and people who live around here, like in Mobile, Alabama, or Gulfport, or somewhere in Mississippi, they grow up, they know they don't really fit in, they know they don't go along with the program, but they can't go or do anything in their town.
Right.
Until they wait till they're like 18 or something, and they leave home and come to New Orleans, because in New Orleans, we got Mardi Gras, we got Jazz Fest, we got Voodoo Fest, we have all these times and places where people can express themselves in ways that they can't express themselves in more rural communities, to make it a euphemistic way of saying it. You can be yourself, and you can dance with others, and not only just survive but thrive, and be with others who are being themselves, which is...
I didn't do, if you don't mind, will you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, I'm Amesy Adams. I'm an artist, musician in New Orleans, Bob.
Right on. What's something about New Orleans you wish people knew that most people don't know?
Well, I wish people knew New Orleans was in Louisiana. But then they probably wouldn't come here if they knew it was in Louisiana.
I like that axe you're holding. Tell me about that thing.
This is a Cigar Box guitar. And a lot of people, they kind of think, oh, Cigar Box guitar, what's with that? Well, it's basically an outgrowth from the original diddley bow.
Right.
That Bo Diddley's kind of named after or something.
Yeah.
And the kids wanted to play slide guitar in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and all around there. They didn't have any money, so they'd go take a tree limb that was bent a bit, and they'd steal their mom's broom, and they'd take the metal wire off the broom, and they'd tie it to both ends of the tree limb, and then they'd steal their dad's snuff box, and they'd take some feathers from the chicken and slice it off, and they'd make something like this. And they would slide. Like, I can show you how they would do it with the diddley bow. And then gradually, I think it happened that there was some kind of tax put on cigars. And one of the ways to, circumvent the tax or something was to put them in boxes. I don't know what the deal was. And so cigar boxes became really popular, but they were made really well, and they could function as resonators.
Yeah, because it's the cavity. Yeah.
Right, for the diddley bow.
Okay.
So then they had basically a one-string deal like this. And this would be the chicken feather. Yeah. This would be the one string. So basically, this is just a big diddley bow.
Okay.
And so that's where it all kind of started. So really, the Cigar Box is like kind of the beginning of the blues. And so we just had a festival here called the Cigar Box Guitar Festival in New Orleans. And they have a site called Cigar Box Nation. So everybody gets together, and CB Giddy supplies all the stuff, and people from all over the world came. And we played, my band Spirit Walker played, and man, like thousands of people showed up for the first one. I made the official poster, which was made from old photographs of the 20s and 30s in New Orleans, where the original music here started with spasm bands. And spasm bands were like, like just where we are right now. This is like ground zero for it. The poor white and black kids didn't have any money, but they wanted to play music and play money on the street. Make money on the street like I do, right? And so, but they didn't have any instruments. So what they did was they would find 1x2s, because this was a port town. They'd find all the refuge from ships that came in. wood and shells and 1x2s and boxes. And they put them all together, and they made these bands, and they had no musical training whatsoever. So they would play all kinds of crazy stuff, and they didn't know, because they didn't know how to play. They played like they were having a spasm, you know. They'd be going kind of like it would be cacophonistic. They'd be like, and then gradually one of them would be like, and they start doing. So they start playing like that. Now the other people who came into town at that time, the French, the Spanish, and whoever else came in, they already had a lot of their music with them, you know. So I don't think those are the people who created jazz. I think what they did was they saw the spasm bands, and they thought, whoa, these guys got something going on. And these were guys who played cigar box guitars, who played boxes like the kids who used to put roller skates on the bottom of these boxes, and they go like this, you know, and run around town on that. It was the first skateboards, I guess, but they had a box on top so they could steer with it. And then they started beating on those boxes, and they have shells, and they'd shake them from strings and stuff. So they'd make basses with drawers that they found. So it's all homemade instruments. So this is a whole new movement. The cigar box guitar movement is like going back to like the basics of blues and jazz, from where it all started, and from the things that they were made out of. I've been making them since '69.
Wow. So that's what the diddly bow, isn't it, with the like broomstick?
Yeah, well, but the first ones were just twigs, you know, bent twigs, and they would take it. Like the beauty of that is that Buffy St. Marie plays one too, because it's almost like a mouth harp, a Jew's harp.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah, so they would take it, and Buffy St. Marie goes, little wheel spin and spin, big wheel turn around.
Uncle Joe, don't know whether when the wind don't blow. Hop up, my ladies, 2 in a row. Hop up, my ladies, 2 in a row. Hop up, my ladies, 2 in a row. Don't know whether when the wind don't blow.
The diddly bow, but like a mouth harp, like they did, and then they moved into sliding and playing the diddly bow. Yeah. It all kind of started like right here. New Orleans is ground zero for all that. So that's kind of it. Like the music came down from Clarksdale into here, and also the boats came down with. When the boats came down, they couldn't go back up. So they chop the boats up and make houses out of them. So all these houses are made of what they call barge board, because they're from the barges that floated down. They chop them up, man. People here who have a spirit wherever they're born. It's kind of like children of the damned or something. They could be born in Yugoslavia or Bulgaria or China or New Jersey, or I'm from Jersey, from anywhere, right? But they know that they're not in the right place. They're working in a box factory in Newark, you know, and they've got 2 kids, a rat and a gopher, and they're stuck in traffic all day long, and they don't know what to do, and they're living in a high-rise brownstone with 10,000 other people, and they're not getting anywhere, going nowhere, and they're hating it. And all their life they've heard the music from New Orleans.